It's good. I'm great. I'm
Second
great.
day in, how's mini camp
Yeah. I mean, been here for 2 months. It doesn't feel like my second day, but things are flowing. Good energy around the building. Good energy at practice. Just trying to get better. Love being here. Love being in the facility.
been? And obviously the offense. What can you say about this new offense?
We working. We putting a lot of things in right now. It's looking explosive. I love it so far. A lot of opportunities to make plays, to run routes down the field, and just make plays. So I'm excited.
Jackson, what do you feel like have been kind of your biggest areas of growth from kind of the end of the season to now?
Yeah. During the off season, I just number one for me is getting bigger, faster, stronger. I feel like I'm trending in the right direction. Still got a lot of work to do in that area, and overall, my whole game can just be more complete, and um, I can be better in all ways. Especially just learning the playbook right now, and knowing the spots I need to hit. So, just figuring that out right now.
Why and in what ways do you want to get bigger?
Just leaner. Honestly, I just want to look better, feel better, play better. I feel like that all goes in, and in the off season, I just want to on and off the field just feel good and just mature. I'm young, still growing into my body, and so that's just another thing that I look forward into just getting better at.
How do you assess your rookie season when you look back on it?
For me personally, um, a lot of I feel like it was a good foundation. I can grow from it. A lot of growing pains, a lot of ups and downs, but kind of similar from first years of in college and in high school. Kind of the same thing, And I look forward and going into the second year after completing a good off season and training camp, and just bound and just going on from that. But last year, just not making the playoffs and not winning as many games as we wanted to. That didn't sit well with me, and so I'm looking for change this year.
The wrist injury, you obviously made it back, but do you feel like it still kind of affected you and took a while to get comfortable?
During last season, yeah, I would probably say it took me a couple games. I wore a cast for the first 2 games, but training staff did an amazing job here, and we got that covered, and I feel great now. Towards the middle in the season, I felt great, so it was good.
Are there things you're seeing in this offense that you feel like can really suit you, though? Can really put you in some spots to make a lot of plays?
Oh yeah, I mean, Coach Grubbs, just loving what I'm seeing right now. A lot of motions, a lot of just putting us in the right position to make plays. Simple as that. And yeah, I'm with it. We're rocking and rolling right now.
Specifically from a formation standpoint, are you seeing any significant differences in the way that you're being deployed here? I know it's still early in the installation process, but are you seeing some differences there?
Yeah, I'm just seeing Coach Grubbs and his creativity on the motions and how we're gonna line up and things like that. So it's definitely different. A lot of energy, and I feel good about it.
You got a new receiver coach in Frisman Jackson. You've been here for a few months, so you've gotten a lot of opportunities to work with him. What's that process been like, getting used to a new position coach, and how is he different than what you had previously with Sanjay?
Yeah, it's been good. It's been good. Everybody, a lot of coaches have their own techniques, so it was awesome to learn from Coach Sanjay and pick up on things that he really tries to give us, and same thing with Frizz. I think it's cool to pick both of their brains and just see what fits my route running or whatever technique best, and just going off that. So I love picking brains, especially from coaches, and Coach Frizz. He obviously played in the league, so just a lot of feedback he can give me, and I appreciate that.
I know you not in pads yet, it's still the off season, but when you have a day like you did in OTAs a couple weeks ago, where you had like 7 or 8 touchdowns, a lot of them in the red zone drills as well, with full team. What does that do for your confidence going forward?
Oh yeah, I mean every day I feel like my confidence is building. Even if I don't score 7 touchdowns, or I try to tell the guys, good days, bad days, mediocre days, which we can't really have, which we don't want to have, but we have to use those days, and just build to get better. And not every day is going to be like that. Not every day is going to be perfect, but I can use every day to challenge myself and to be better the next day.
Yes, Deb.
Did you get more comfortable as last season progressed playing on the outside? I think the touchdown you caught against Philadelphia was you were lined up on the outside.
Yeah, definitely. I always feel comfortable. Being on the outside, I feel like it's more of a one-on-one matchup, and I love one-on-one matchups. And being on the inside, there's some one-on-one matchups, a lot of zone, and just reading the defense and sitting in the zone, which I feel like I'm pretty good at. But when it's one-on-one, or being on the outside, it's more playground, a little bit, and that's what I like. I like the challenge.
We asked Devin about your growth from year 1 to year 2, going up against you. What would you say about what you see from him? What do you think he can do going forward?
Yeah, I think he's been doing an awesome job just being vocal. To me, he looks like the captain of the defense, making sure everybody's lined up, and just using his voice more, just leading into year 1 to year 2. And yeah, he's been great. He's a phenomenal player. All pro. I'm a big fan of him. So just definitely excited to watch him take the steps. Physically, he's getting bigger, he's getting faster, and just more comfortable, being smarter. He plays extremely fast, and we all know how physical he is. In the run game or whoever has the ball. So, man, I'm glad he's on my team. I get to go against him every day, and can only get better from that.
Well, it's not too often you hear a second-year guy being described as the captain of the defense.
Yeah, coming from a year 2 guy, but you know what I'm saying. To me, he's out. He's leading. He's a leader. He's a natural-born leader, and a lot. You can see a lot of guys gravitate to him. So, he's a special player for us.
With the success that you've had on the practice field out here in OTAs, going into minicamp, how much is with this new offense having Geno Smith back as quarterback and year 2 being able to work with him developing chemistry? How much has that helped ease this process?
Yeah, I think just having a whole season with Geno, going into year 2, our communication is better. There's some guys, you can get on them, you can't get on them, and just, our communication and what he wants from me is more clear than ever. And, and me being a year 2 guy, we had a talk yesterday where, I can use my voice and tell him, hey, this is what I'm saying. And, I just think, with that comes time and growth, and, and it's been great so far. Just want to build on that and be the best we can.
In the receiver room too, basically everybody's back from last year. How was this all that kind of continuity?
Oh, great. It's always good to see my guys, see the guys. When I first came in, just seeing us kind of grow up, or seeing me grow up, I guess. It's awesome. Just having T-Lock, DK, of course, adding some new guys, Bobo, of course. I know those guys, and we can talk, we can compete against each other, and we can get each other better. So, it's just great. Year 1 to year 2, just growing.
Jaxon, I know it's still early in the learning the offense kind of standpoint for you guys, but how good do you think you guys can be as an offensive standpoint, knowing what the scheme can do and the features it kind of brings to the table and what you guys bring back from the skill position standpoint?
I think the potential is to be the best offense in the league. Why not us? With the guys that we have, running back, quarterback, offensive line, getting it right, and of course, receivers. We put a lot on our shoulders to be the best, especially us 3. That's something we talk about a lot. And why not us? We out here putting the work in the offseason, and we feel like we have the great opportunity. Coaches are putting us in the best opportunity to win. So it's all about just doing it, executing, and we know we have the guys to do that.
What are you learning about this defense and how it tries to put offenses in a bind?
Yeah, I just remember last year Ravens. I didn't know what was going on out there, to be honest, and it's finally good to practice against that every day, because it's very complicated. I can tell they disguise great, and for me to see that, I feel like it's just going to be easier once we play against other teams.
Does everything look the same pre-snap? Is that what they try to do?
I don't want to give out too much information, but nah, it don't. Nothing looks the same. Everything's different. I answered the question, anyways. Yes, sir.
Jaxon, thank you.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Leonard Williams.